Hi Virgo, welcome to your love reading for November 2017. This is Elizabeth from channeledguidance.com. Okay, so I already shuffled the deck. Let's go ahead and begin. This is going to be for confirmation, but first let's get 9 cards for you. This is a love reading for the sign of Virgo for November 2017. The first card you have is the Two of Swords. Love reading for the sign of Virgo, November 2017. You have the World. The Empress. Love reading for the sign of Virgo for November 2017. The Page of Swords. You have the Hanged Man. Love reading for the sign of Virgo for November 2017. The Eight of Swords. Okay, let me just adjust the camera here. Love reading for the sign of Virgo for November 2017. The Nine of Pentacles. The Wheel of Fortune. Okay, I have something jump here. You have the Two of Pentacles. Okay, so the card at the bottom of the deck is going to represent the main energy around your love life for November, and you have the Knight of Wands. So this can be someone who is a fire sign, although I don't usually read the knights as court cards, but this does tell me that there is movement around your love life in the month of November. This can be something very exciting. I will come back to this card in a minute to see how it ties in with the rest of the reading. We're going to take it one row at a time. The top row, you've got the Two of Swords, the World, the Empress. So very interesting. The Two of Swords is telling me there's some type of tricky situation going on in your love life right now. And there is a strong message. Let me just show you, because I see it right here. Clear as day. That Virgo is stuck. Hello? Two of Swords, the Hangman, the Eight of Swords. So you're stuck in some way. Now, this is a general reading, so it's hard to say in what way you're stuck. It could be that you're stuck in a relationship that you don't want to be in, and you don't even know how you got into that relationship. The Two of Swords is basically telling me that you've got some decisions to make. And I feel, no matter what your situation is, that wherever you are right now, you don't want to be there. That's what I see from the Two of Swords. This is someone that you're somewhere where you don't want to be, but then you don't really want to acknowledge what's going on in front of you. You would rather not. You don't want to see it. You don't want to talk about it. You don't want anyone to point out the elephant in the room. This is leaving you stuck. The Hangman next to the Eight of Swords. I don't usually move on to the second row, but it really stands out. Stuck, stuck, stuck. Now, the good news is that you have the World. The World this is coming to an end. I feel like if you have been stuck, and it could be that you've been stuck in an unhealthy relationship, maybe you don't know how to get out, maybe you don't know how to end the relationship. I feel like you're finally doing that. You're making a very difficult decision to finally just say, I don't want to be with you anymore. I don't want to be married to you anymore. Something is coming to an end. Now, for those of you where, you finally make a decision you've been putting off, where, for whatever reason you've been procrastinating, dragging your feet, making that decision finally brings this cycle being stuck to an end. And this brings immense happiness. You have the Empress. The Empress is the ultimate card of abundance. That's why she's kind of reclining there on her couch, because she basically has everything. So I feel like there is, for some of you, there could be someone that's coming into your life as you're kind of wrapping up a relationship you don't even want to be in. Someone is coming in that fulfills you in every way. But for those who are already coupled, it could be that, there is some difficult decision. You're stuck in some phase, some weird phase. And it doesn't mean that you're moving away from your partner unless that's what you want. But I do feel that you're stuck, and it could be that you're stuck because you've been dating for 15 or 20 years, or, your partner maybe does not want to have kids or something like that. There is a decision being made in regarding your love life, where you're finally kind of wrapping up a cycle in this relationship, and you're moving on to something better. You're closing a door on that chapter and opening up to immense happiness and abundance with the Empress. This can also represent marriage and children, but this represents a lot of happiness. Okay, so the second row here, you've got the Page of Swords, the Hangman, and the Eight of Swords. So again, stuck energy right here, the Hangman and the Eight of Swords. You're stuck in some way. Now you do have the Page of Swords, so I feel like you can easily get unstuck, and I got that from this as well. The Page of Swords is communication. You got to say something. There's something that maybe you have to say to get stuck, because you're in limbo right here with the Hangman. You are in limbo and you're trapped in fear. It's time to speak the truth. The Page of Swords represents the truth. Let's go back to the main energy because I hadn't brought it up. The Knight of Wands. If you are making decisions, difficult decisions, and you're being honest with your partner or with yourself, this is bringing excitement into your life. But the Knight of Wands also means that you have to be really self-confident, full of fire, and just kind of determined to get what you want. So it could be someone specific that you want, or you want something from your partner. You gotta make that happen yourself. And there is some type of like honesty that has to happen because you're stuck in some way. Like I said, you could be stuck in a relationship you don't want to be in. You could just be stuck in a bad phase in a relationship where it's nothing but problems. There's a difficult decision to be made and there's a need to be honest. But I feel like, you know, once that decision is made when the Two of Swords, once you communicate with someone or you speak honestly, you give someone the truth, you're finally released from this. Because I feel like there's something very strange going on with Virgo, where you feel like you're in limbo, and when it comes to love, you don't even know what in the world is going on. And there's something that you're afraid of with the Eight of Swords. You feel like there's something happening in your love life, or there's really nothing that you can do about it. But there is, because the Two of Swords is telling you have decisions to make, and you've got to be honest in some way. So although I see like a strong kind of trapped energy right here, I also see this coming to an end in some way. After you make perhaps a difficult decision, or you acknowledge that you're stuck, this brings immense happiness into your life. Okay, so let's move on to the bottom row. You've got the Nine of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, the Two of Pentacles. So the Wheel of Fortune is telling me, let me just move it up a little bit. The Wheel of Fortune is telling me that November is a time when it comes to love, it's finally time for change. It's finally time for things to turn around. So the first thing that comes up is relationships that are struggling, or it's just a constant uphill battle with someone. And it could be that someone is wishy-washy, because you do have the Two of Pentacles. This is the ultimate card for me anyway, of someone who is wishy-washy, someone that says they will, you know, next year we'll get married, and then you don't. Or someone that says, you know, I will commit soon, and then they don't. I feel like something that has been kind of back and forth, off and on. There's finally positive change around this. But you do have the Nine of Pentacles telling you that you've got to put yourself first. And this came up for another sign, I think for Leo. You know, that you've got to stop making excuses for someone and finally put yourself first. But I do feel like for some of you, it could be that you're stuck in a relationship where it's just like, whoa, like where everything is up in the air and there's no stability. With the Two of Pentacles, this is scattered energy. For some of you, I mean, not everyone, but for some of you, it could be that you're juggling two partners. It could be that you're juggling two partners and that you know that you can't do that anymore. Perhaps that is a difficult decision going on over here with the Two of Swords. You've got the twos also represent choosing between two people or two things, two outcomes. So it could be that here, like you've got more than one person going on. You have to put yourself first. You've got to choose, and I feel here there's finally a change for the better. Or perhaps, you know, you're not the one juggling partners. Perhaps your partner is, where you're back and forth. I do get a lot of readings like that, where, you know, there's someone that's committed to someone else, and they always want to know, are they going to commit to me? So I get that vibe from this reading. But I also feel that for Virgo is a very kind of tidy energy. Just in general, I have a moon in Virgo, so I know. You can't thrive in this type of energy where there is no stability, where it's just kind of all up in the air. You would be miserable in that type of environment. Here, where you're just kind of stuck and you feel like there's really nothing that you can do about it. Virgo does not like being stuck and does not kind of accept that type of outcome. You do not accept being stuck. But I do feel that that can come to an end. There is just some type of communication that you have to be honest. You have to be honest. Maybe, you know, honest in telling your partner that you feel stuck. or being honest with yourself that, you know, that you're stuck in a you know, in a cycle in your love life that you don't like. I just feel like there's a difficult decision to be made. Let me just bring it up here. A difficult decision to be made. Once you make that decision, this is finally, you know, coming to an end, that negative cycle, immense happiness. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on and get more confirmation from the same deck. What other messages are there for the sign of Virgo for November 2017? The Magician. Nine of Cups. Ten of Cups. Wow. If you go back and watch the reading for Leo, if you have a moon or rising sign in Leo, go watch that video. Go watch that video. The reason I say that is because they had the 9 and 10 of Cups from this deck over here together. There was a card in between them, but they got the 9 and 10 of Cups. They were the 3 confirmation cards that I pulled. So if either you have a moon or rising sign in Leo, or your partner is a Leo, you need to watch that reading, because that's probably also for you. Now here for you, you got the Magician, the 9 of Cups, and the 10 of Cups. This is pretty clear to me. The Magician is telling you that the outcome of your love life, your happiness, this is all in your hands, Virgo. You're holding all the cards. The Magician is all about you being in control of your life. So if you're sitting there hoping that, you know, God's going to send you a sign on what to do, or, you know, that I hope God resolves this soon, or I hope things fall into place. They are, but they're going to fall into place when you make decisions. And remember that you started off with that energy. With the Two of Swords, no one else is going to make this decision for you or take this action. It's got to be you. It's got to be you. So the Magician is just telling you that, yes, you know, there can be change in your love life. There can be magic in your love life. But you're the one who's going to make this happen. So in what way are you leaving yourself in limbo? In what way are you leaving yourself completely stranded and stuck? It's time to be honest in the month of November with the Page of Swords. You got to be honest with yourself or with another person. You got to put yourself first, because remember, you did have the 9 of Pentacles as well. If you finally realize that you have the key to happiness and that you are going to make something happen, whether you're going to meet somebody new or you're going to make your relationship work, you need to be the one that takes action. I mean, and you have the 9 and 10 of Pentacles right after that. The 9 of Pentacles, this is your, you know, this is the wish card. This means that your wish is granted. If you take action, if you do something, the Magician is just you finally realizing that there's something that I need to do. It's not going to happen on its own. Your wishes are granted. This is immense happiness. This is immense happiness. The 10 of Cups, this is a happily ever after. So it's like your story, whatever it is, it has a happy ending. If you are more hands-on, I feel like there's something that you have to do. And for everyone, this is a general reading, so it's hard to say what that means for everyone. But I just see so much happiness here, you know, with the 10 of Cups, the 9 of Cups, the Empress. But it's like you hold the key. You have to realize that you're the Magician. You have to take action. You have to do something. You have to realize that you're the one in control. You have all the power. And you are the one who can remove yourself from this stale energy from the Two of Swords by perhaps taking action or making a decision. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the other deck. See what it wants to tell you. What other messages are there for the sign of Virgo for November 2017? You've got the Chariot, the Four of Swords, and the King of Swords. I'm going to put them right here. At the bottom of this deck, you've got the Queen of Wands. So this would be someone who is a fire sign, male or female, sun, moon, or rising. So this would be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. So this could be your romantic partner. This could be their moon or rising sign, or this could be the energy that they're in. It could even be you if you have a moon or rising sign in that element. Now, the other cards that came out with this, and you got another court card here, someone who's an air sign, male or female. For those who are single, it could be that you're being directed towards someone who is a fire sign or someone who is an air sign, male or female. You've got the Chariot, which represents victory. So even though there's this energy here of being stuck, you know, with the Eight of Swords and the Hangman and the Two of Swords, the Chariot is telling me that you're going to get what you want out of love or out of a relationship. The Chariot is victory. But remember, and I'm being drawn back over here, it's victory because you did something. You took action. You realize that all of this is in your hands. Now, you also have the Four of Swords, and this can represent, you know, someone that has pulled back a little bit from you. And I have been getting a lot of private readings where people are telling me that, you know, someone is just very suddenly broken engagements, or just kind of walked out of a marriage, or just broke up with someone. I see a lot of that right now. So the Four of Swords can be, you know, someone that has kind of, you know, walked away from a relationship. But there is an energy of success around that and movement. So it could be, you know, someone that walked away from you, even someone that you feel is moving away from you. With the Four of Swords, someone that you feel that you're losing. This came out with the King of Swords, so this could be someone who is an air sign. There's still victory there. So just kind of looking at everything here and going back to the main energy, this has to be a time in the month of November where you are really kind of in your power with the Knight of Wands and then the Magician in the same reading. I'll just bring it up here. Both of these cards are kind of screaming that you have to take control, that you have to take action when it comes to your love life, that you're stuck in some way, but you have the power to change that. So I don't know, I get a very odd feeling around this. It's hard to say in a general reading what it is because thousands of people watch this video, but I definitely feel whatever has been going on in your love life where you're just sick and tired of the same old thing, whether it's the same old arguments or maybe meeting the same old people, there's something that you can do about that. And I do feel like it's probably something you'd rather not do, something that you don't want to do. But if you want, you know, this energy of the Empress, if you finally want to move on, this is the month where you finally, you know, come clean, because you do have the Page of Swords. It means that you have to be honest. You've got a tricky, very difficult decision to make. But you're finally, you know, what you're doing when you make that decision is that you're finally bringing a cycle in your life to an end. And this is positive because, I mean, down here you've got the Wheel of Fortune. This is also a very lucky energy. So for those who are single, it could be that, you know, this could be the month where you meet someone who's going to be a significant partner, if not your life partner. And this could be someone who's a fire sign or someone who is an air sign, because you did get both of those court cards. It's just time for change for the better, no matter what your situation is, no matter what your marital status is. This time for change. This is a very lucky time for you, so you don't want to throw it away. You especially don't want to throw it away on something that, you know, is not really in your favor, especially if it's someone that goes back and forth between you and another person, or someone that doesn't offer you any kind of stability, any type of commitment. This is, like I said, very wishy-washy energy. Someone that's leading you on. Or maybe you're leading somebody on. You don't really know how to tell them, I don't love you and I don't want to be with you. If you do that, you'll actually find someone that you do want to be with. This is a time where you're doing what's best for you. You have to put yourself first. This is a time where you're supposed to be looking for your happiness, but you can't find it if you're in a place where you're stuck. But I do see, you know, the Magician is telling me that you have the power to change what is going on in your love life. And like I said, when I first started this reading, I don't usually jump into the second row immediately, but I saw a pattern here with Virgo. I saw a pattern in these three cards right here. The Two of Swords, the Hangman, the Eight of Swords. Stuck. In limbo. It's hard to say, you know, what situation it is, but I feel like no matter what it is, it's like you don't want to be in the place that you are, whether it's, you know, a place of arguing and fighting, or you literally don't want to be with a particular person. It's a time to completely come clean with the Page of Swords and do what's best for you. Okay, Virgo, this has been your love reading for November 2017. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will speak to you again next month.